Hi guys. Quickly let me know if I'm audible, if I'm visible. Hi, good morning Kunal. Okay, that's good. Hi Nirupam, are we going to be doing? Yes, we are going to do mixed bag today. Yes, and tomorrow as well we are going to do mixed bag. So some questions we have taken up today, and some questions we are going to do tomorrow. Okay. So in this way, what is going to happen is we are going to do plenty of questions in these 2 days, so that it becomes easier for you to understand the kind of questions that we can expect out there. And of course, there can be other questions as well. So I'll keep on working on it, and I'll come across with more and more of questions to practice, right? Okay. Hi Akriti. Okay, and this is Nagasailada. Okay, yep. Hi Nagasailada. Cool. Fine. Till then, just let me know what all you have been practicing, and how the score, what kind of scores you are handling, what are you getting. Are you actually practicing? What is the exact portion? I'm still confused. Yeah, because we don't have a clarity coming across from Bangalore. So most probably it is going to be in the first week of December is what they have said. Let's see. We are also keeping a close watch on it, and maybe we'll get the exact details by then. And after that, we exactly know what to do, right? Care. Okay, so enough people to start. Let's go. Okay, fine. First thing first, those who have not yet joined, I'm telling you again and again, this is going to help you a lot, right? IIMB mocks, the link is in the description. Fine. You write down crack IIMB, that is the code. You get 500 off, and these are the things you are getting. Okay, all those people who have already joined, they are working through it, they are getting marks out of it, right? Yes, sir, but not for IIM. Okay, Akriti, for what are you planning? Hi, Vaibhav. Right, let's move ahead. So, today what we are going to start with is single fillers, right? Single fillers are friends or foes. We need to check them, right? Many a time there are so many things that are like, vocabulary oriented, right? So we have to see how it works for us. Will it work for us? Do we know, can we catch hold of those thought process or not? This is something we are going to check, okay? Right. Hi, dictator. My God. कहाँ का dictator है भाई? Let's come across to the first one. Despite his calm appearance, the diplomat was clearly dashed by the rapid escalation of tensions during the negotiations. Okay, so how would I go across with this? There are the words given across is unfazed, perturbed, gratified, complacent, and lucid. Okay, now you might know the meaning, you might not know the meaning. So in any case, if I want to do this question, I have to be very smart. I have to be like, I should know which one to go across and which one to eliminate, because that is the only thing that is going to help me, right? Okay, fine. So don't try to check out the meaning of the words right now. The very first thing that you should do, that you should try out here, is basically trying to come across with if I don't know the meaning, can I do this question or not? Okay. Okay, Kunal has given his answer. Ahana has given her answer. Who else? That's it. Who has a problem out here with the meaning part? All those who have a problem with the meaning part out here. Okay, Vaibhav B, Nandini B. So everyone has come across with B. Fine. So now let's come across, let's try to create the thought process, the equation, why this answer comes across. Okay. So if I look at the question, what is written across? Despite his calm appearance, despite, so important part is despite, which is a transition. It is telling us that whatever is going to happen after this part, right, has to be opposite. It has to be contradiction of what is already there, right? So this part, his calm appearance talks about a positive notion, right? It's a positive thought process. Keeping that in mind, if I go across to the next one, what am I actually looking out for? I'm looking out for a negative word, right? Has everyone understood? Right? Just let me know if you have understood this part. Okay, Akriti has a problem. Naga, can I call you Nagas? Nagas? Naga? Okay. Right. So, you have a problem with this. Okay. So, in this case, if you have a problem, then try to understand, can we make it into a positive or a negative? Can we actually coin it as positive or negative word? Can you even do that? If not, then this question is not for you. Understood? So, while you are practicing this kind of a question, what you would do is, you're going to write down this thing, all the words with you, and you're going to write down their meanings. When I say meanings, I am not asking for, the actual meanings. What I'm asking for is synonyms, right? So you write down the synonyms out here, and when you write down the synonyms, you understand, okay, fine, this is what it is. So in this way, you would have a vocabulary, bank as well, which is finally going to help you in all the papers, right? So that's why this is quite important. These kind of questions are very important for us, okay? Fine. So despite, and this is, what did we come across? We came across that we need a negative word out here. Okay, so when we have a negative word, let's go across. Unfazed. Okay, fine. So if I say unfazed, what does it mean actually? It's actually when, even after he was threatened, he was unfazed by the threats. Fine? Unfazed, which means, did it have an influence on him? Did he succumb to it? Did he fall for it? Or it did not matter to him? Fine? He was going on the path itself. Like he was going through it. He was not going to change his path. So unfazed is something which is positive, right? So he's unfazed. Koi farak nahi padta, right? Perturbed, I don't know what is it, but gratified I definitely know is a positive word, because gratification, right? It comes across from gratification, it comes across from gratitude. So gratitude is a positive word, right? Grateful or something like that. Complacent is again a positive word, because we are complacent with whatever we have, right? One should be complacent with whatever he has, right? So complacent is again a positive word. Lucid, fine. I hope the question is lucid to you, which means it is understandable, it is clear to you. So which means again, this is a positive word, right? So all of them are positive. There has to be only one word that has to be the answer, and it has to be negative, right? So therefore, without even knowing what is perturbed, I can actually come across and say that perturbed is the right answer. But as otherwise, what can perturbed stand for? What exactly perturbed would say? What would it mean? So when you would be doing your practice, you would actually be writing unfazed is something to do with, indifferent. Okay, gratified would be satisfied. Complacent is something to do with being again satisfied, happy, right? Lucid is something which is clear, okay? And also you would be writing perturbed. Perturbed is like something like afraid. The pen thickness, okay, I'll just try to do that. They don't have a thickness, bro. Okay, if I write with a different color, let's see if it works. Perturbed is someone who is like afraid. Is this better? If I write with this color, will it work? Okay, fine. Troubled, yes, very good. Someone who's this is the whole thing. So automatically we understand that first is the answer is B. Has everyone understood? Samriddhi, I cannot increase the pen size out here. I don't know how it happens, but it is not out here, as you can see. Should I write with a highlighter? No, of course it is not going to work. Fine, just let me know if the orange part is working. Yes? Yes. Okay, good. Let's go across to the next one. Second one. The committee's report was criticized for being overly dash. So it was being criticized. It presented data without offering any meaningful interpretation or conclusion. So what can be the answer? Okay. Kunal says E, Vaibhav says E, Akriti says E, Nagasayalada says E, okay. Sure, why do you think that it is E? Why do you think that it should be E? Is there any reason behind it? The committee's report was criticized for being overly dash. Then it says it presented data without offering any meaningful interpretations or conclusion. So if it does not have interpretation or conclusion, how can I call it as inferential? Right? Okay. Next, visionary. Visionary is again when you would vision like far-sighted and all that, right? So again, I can only be visionary if I have a clear interpretation of things. So of course, this also goes off. Exhaustive, what does that mean? Exhaustive. Exhaustive is like umbrella. It is covering everything, which means that it has covered every point in it. So definitely it cannot be criticized. So again, it goes away. Empirical is something which is practical. So therefore, again, this part goes away. The answer has to be descriptive. What does that mean, descriptive? Descriptive is where I use a lot of word. I keep on, like, I just describe the things, right? Which means when I describe things, you must have heard, like there are authors who talk about there are cons and there are pros, but he's not giving his judgment, right? So he's just telling us that this is what it is. Okay, there was this, it used to happen like this, and now it is like this. So when someone gives me this kind of a statement, it is just descriptive. It is not giving me any hint of how is it going to be useful, or it is we should not use it, or we should use it. Nothing given across. Okay, and that is why C is a better answer out here. Yeah. Yeah, Vaibhav, why are we not taking E? Inferential comes across from which word? It comes across from inference. And when you draw an inference, what do? You are interpreting, right? You are interpreting, you are trying to understand what it is, and therefore interpretation is not going to work out here. Why inferential is not going to work out here? Because it clearly says without offering any meaningful interpretations, right? So therefore it cannot be inferential. Yeah, exactly, exactly. Raghuraj, yes, that's what I'm trying to say, because it says, look at this part, there is a semicolon out here. It says after that, without offering any meaningful interpretation. So I cannot call it inferential because it is not giving me any clue, right? Because if it is giving me clue, why would I criticize it, right? This is a negative sentence. Can you see it? Yeah, this is a negative sentence. Check it. Empirical means something which is pragmatic, something which is with a, what do you say, practical, something which can be verified. Okay. Also can't be called inferential as inference from which data is picked up. For example, pie chart or diagram shows the data but does not provide any conclusion. No, Vaibhav, in that case again, if there is a pie chart or anything of that sort, it does provide you with clue from where you can draw the answer. Understood? But when I say that it is inferential, which means I can draw the idea, yes. On the other hand, it says it presented data without offering any meaningful interpretations. And then how can I draw any interpretation, inference, or clue, or data, anything of that sort? Understood? So that's why I have to write down something else. Yeah. Just let me know, Vaibhav, if you have understood, right? The rest of you, just let me know if you have understood the question, why the word descriptive has to be the answer. Now, this was actually a trick, right? You fell for it, can't help it, right? We would say all in a day's work. Oh, that's good, Vaibhav, you have understood. Fine, let's move ahead. Anyone who has a doubt out here, please do tell me. Because these questions are very important. These words, the words that you are seeing out here, can be seen in the RC, can be seen in a fill in the blanks thing, right? And if you don't know the meaning, it might give you trouble, right? So therefore, you must remember that these words have to be written down and you need to understand these things, right? Okay, good. That's good. Let's move ahead. Her argument, though elegantly phrased, was ultimately weakened by a few dash assumptions that she failed to acknowledge. Hmm. Okay. Some words you already know, the words are there, right? Let's see what you can do. Kunal, give me the keyword as well from which you have drawn the answer. Okay, Naga has answered. Kunal has answered. Kunal, sir, untenable means undefendable. Okay. So it fits in the context. Okay, fine. That means, Kunal, it worked for you because you knew the word, right? Akriti says B. Okay. Akriti, why did you go across with B? Naga, tell me, why did you go across with B? Now this time round, the classes are not just about practicing, they are also about why you go across with an answer, right? Raghuraj says maybe as it talks about elegant phrase but few she failed to acknowledge, and intricate is often you fail to acknowledge. Okay. Okay. Trade B. Okay, Samriddhi says C. Okay, Samriddhi, why is it C? Shrish, we are going to cover up fill in the blanks. Then we are going to have errors. Then we have got para jumbles and para summary, I believe, or para completion. Plenty of things to do. C, because you told empirical means practical. Okay. Right. Samriddhi, actually what really happened, look at this part. Just tell me her argument. So whatever her argument was, is it taken in a positive light or a negative light? Just tell me this. Whatever the author has written as per that, has it been taken in a positive light or a negative light? Everyone, you can answer me. Anyone can answer me. Just tell me. Her argument, though elegantly phrased, was ultimately weakened. Was ultimately weakened. So, which means like till then, no Samriddhi. It is actually in positive, right? Her argument, though elegantly phrased, which means like they are simply saying like the argument was good. It was actually good, which means the assumptions have to be what? They are not supposed to be very good. Fine. But these assumptions, which could not be acknowledged, actually resulted into weakening of her argument. Understood? Right? Yeah. Okay. So, in that sense, what do? She could not defend. She could not, yeah, this part tells me she could not defend her argument. This is the thought process. Okay. Now, look at this. What is intricate? Intricate is something which is complex, yes, definitely. But intricate complex is generally in a positive way, right? The intricate detailing of some thing, right? Someone is making a sculpture, right? So when he's making a sculpture, he's actually doing it in this way that there are intricate contours. The structure looks very beautiful, right? Very in-depth work, right? So in-depth. But then if I call it in-depth, which clearly means that her argument was not actually in-depth or it was not clear, right? Then if it is so, I would not call it elegant, right? So therefore, this part, intricate part, does not work for me. Empirical means what again? Something which is what? Practical. Okay, which is almost the same thought process. Laudable is again praiseworthy. How do I learn this word? Whenever we have got L-A-U-D, so what do? You add the word applaud, right? What is applaud? Applaud is when you are saying like, yeah, you are praising someone, right? Appreciating someone. So if I cannot call her argument to be appreciative, as well as the assumptions which are coming across, they were also appreciative, right? We cannot do that, right? Okay. On the other hand, exhaustive means umbrella, which means like covering everything out there, right? So if all of them come across, if you look at these four, they are somehow on the same side, right? If the assumption is umbrella, it is covering everything, which means it is positive. If it is laudable, then it is positive. If it is empirical, it is positive. Intricate, it is positive, right? The only thing is untenable. Untenable is something that cannot be defended against, right? So which means that she could not defend her arguments. Now that is much easier, much better option, and also the odd one out here. So automatically the answer has to be A, right? Now when you do this question, you understand something. It's very important part, right? Many a time you would see when you have these options in front of you and you would say that yes, I can go across with this answer because this answer looks good, right? And that might be a suitable answer, because if you look out here, I would say why not B, C, D, E? I'm on your side. B, C, D, E definitely works out here. Why not? I can actually say. But then again, what are these fillers about? Are they about finding the right answer, or is it about finding the better option? So out here, we have to go across and find the better option. Which is my better option out here? Because I can see that intricate, empirical, laudable and exhaustive, they are all on the same side. The only one which is not working for me is untenable, and therefore that has to be my correct answer. Fine. Okay. B is something which is complex, okay, or something which is very deep, in depth. Okay. ठीक है वैभव? Something which is deep or something which is what? Complex. ठीक है? But in a positive way. ठीक है? तो ये सारे के सारे. Quickly tell me if you have understood the thing. Please tell me quickly. And I hope everyone is writing the meanings as well. Okay, Vaibhav, try to understand. Her argument, though elegantly phrased, she was, उसने क्या दिया? उसने argument दिया, ठीक है? वो argument कैसा था? Elegant था, अच्छा था, ठीक है? बहुत मतलब बहुत ही आराम से, बहुत ही ज़्यादा ग्रेसफुल वर्ड्स यूज़ करके, अच्छे अच्छे वर्ड्स यूज़ करके, अच्छा प्रेजेंटेशन यूज़ करके उसे क्या किया गया? रखा गया सबके सामने, ठीक है? वॉज अल्टीमेटली वीकेंड, लेकिन उसका आर्गुमेंट खराब हो गया, वीक हो गया, बाय अ फ्यू डैश अजम्पशंस दैट शी फेल टू एक्नॉलेज. कुछ ऐसे अजम्पशंस उसके सामने डाले गए कि अगर ऐसा हुआ फिर क्या होगा, तो वो उसके आंसर्स नहीं दे पाई. बात समझ में आ रही है? ठीक है. अब ज़रा इन चारों को देखना. अगर मैं इसका भी लिखूं तो इस वाले केस में हुआ अनडिफेंडेबल, जिसको हम क्या नहीं कर सकते? डिफेंड नहीं कर सकते. अब मेरे को बताओ, क्या ये अनडिफेंडेबल हो सकता है यहाँ पे? बिल्कुल हो सकता है, क्योंकि वो अजम्पशंस के अगेंस्ट वो क्या नहीं कर पाई? एक्नॉलेज नहीं दे पाई, कुछ उसका आंसर बैक नहीं कर पाई. तो इसका मतलब ये वाले अजम्पशंस कैसे थे? अनडिफेंडेबल थे. हो सकता है, राइट. इंट्रिकेट हो सकता है, हाँ जी, इंट्रिकेट भी हो सकता है. वाई? बिकॉज इंट्रिकेट का मतलब क्या है? कॉम्प्लेक्स. इतने ही कॉम्प्लेक्स थे वो, इतने ही डीप थे अजम्पशंस कि वो उसके आंसर नहीं दे पाई. ठीक है. एम्पेरिकल, प्रैक्टिकल अजम्पशंस थे जो वो आंसर नहीं दे पाई. ठीक है. प्रेज वर्दी, लॉडेबल, मतलब प्रेज वर्दी अजम्पशंस थे, बहुत ही अच्छे अजम्पशंस थे जो वो आंसर नहीं दे पाई. या इतने ही अम्ब्रेला थे, इतने ज़्यादा ओवरऑल कवर कर रहा था, ठीक है, जनरलाइज था कि वो उसका आंसर नहीं दे पाई. हर केस में हमारा आंसर बैठ रहा है. एवरी आंसर इज कमिंग आउट हियर, राइट. बट द प्रॉब्लम आउट हियर इज, इन दैट केस इफ यू सी, आई कैन यूज ऑल ऑफ देम बट दे ऑल आर ऑन द सेम साइड. ये सारे के सारे सेम बात कर रहे हैं कि वो बहुत ज़्यादा कॉम्प्लेक्स है, या प्रेजवर्दी है, या प्रैक्टिकल है, या अम्ब्रेला है, राइट. द ओनली वन विच इज ऑड वन आउट खेल रहे हैं हम इसमें ऑलमोस्ट. तो ऑड वन आउट यहाँ पे कौन सा है? इनडिफेंडेबल. और इसलिए हम इसको चूज करेंगे, ना कि उनमें से किसी एक को. ठीक है, राइट. हाँ समृद्धि, ऐसे वाले क्वेश्चंस आपके उसमें आते हैं, आईपीमैट में आते हैं. आईपीमैट कौन से वाले की बात कर रहे हो आप? इंदौर की अगर बात कर रहे हो तो इंदौर में मेजरली आपके वर्ड बेस्ड, मतलब वोकैबुलरी बेस्ड हो सकता है. ठीक है. और कहाँ पे आ सकता है? दिस कैन ऑल्सो कम अक्रॉस इन योर रोहतक में आ सकता है, जिपमैट में तो आएगा ही. सो इन सब में ही आएगा. तो यू हैव टू गो अक्रॉस विद देम. ओके. All will be right, but A suits the best. Yes, Vaibhav, now you have understood. ठीक है. Okay, come across to the next question. Fourth question. जल्दी जल्दी करना है, अभी बहुत सारे questions करने हैं हमने. This is a 10-second question, I'll tell you. Okay, Akriti is actually doing a good thing. She's also coming across with a thought process, which is very, very important. That is good. Okay, we have got B, we have a D, then we have an A. Okay, Raguraj, any reason why you are going across with A? Kunal, any reason why you are going across with B? Kshitij says B. Okay, Kshitij, any reason why you are going across with B? Okay, Vaibhav, why A? Dictator, why D? Fine, many people have answered. Let's try this. The scientists cautioned that the early results were merely dash and should not be treated as definitive evidence. When it says it cannot be treated as definitive evidence, I can never have conclusive, right? We can never have conclusive, right? Because conclusive is what? Conclusive says that something which is final, right? It is in the finality of it. So this is the final decision. This is the end result. But it cannot be taken as an end result because it says not to be treated as definitive. So therefore, conclusive cannot be my answer. Understood? Right? Next one. We have got what? B. Preliminary. What is preliminary? It the preliminary rounds, right? In when you go across for any paper, so they say like we have got prelims, right? So what are these prelims? Which means like it is starting with it, right? And it is definitely not the last one, right? And therefore it cannot be the decisive one. Understood? We cannot judge on that. Therefore, preliminary, I'm not going to remove it because it goes across with this thought process, the early results, which means these are prelims, right? Okay, next one, exhaustive. What does it mean, exhaustive? Exhaustive is something which is umbrella, does not work in the sentence at all, so it goes away. Unilateral means just a direction, right? Unilateral means it goes in a single direction. Does it talk about any kind of direction out here? Somebody gave that answer, right? Akriti, can you, Akriti, yeah. So you said D, right? Can you just tell me, is it supposed to be unilateral? Does the sentence talk about anything to do with going in a single direction? Is it? Okay, moreover, it's not definite, so it strengthens this as the answer. Okay, Kunal, I'll take that. Vaibhav, because I think that the final result of the conclusion should be seen in the starting, but they should complete this experiment to get a definite conclusion. Yeah, Vaibhav, they should complete this, but it is not written in the sentence, so therefore we should not go beyond the scope. Okay, right. Kshitij, never mind. D. Okay. Can you just check it and tell me? Okay, Raguraj, as other options like preliminary has been already said, when early results unilateral, when one-sided, which does not support in scientific reasoning, and conclusive seems the best option. Okay, Akriti says no, sir. Fine. Akriti, so now that you know that it is what? It is not unilateral, so definitely I cannot take that, right? Does not talk about any direction at all, no sequences being talked about. It just says, it talks about just one result, okay? That is just the first result that has come across. What is going to happen next? Nothing has been talked about. I should not start thinking. This is called as overthinking. You would get stuck in it, right? So therefore, unilateral cannot be my answer. Perennial, what does that mean? Perennial is something which is per annual, right? Look at this, per annual. So annual is almost like annual, and annual means year. Per year, which means it happens throughout the year, which means something which is everlasting. So of course, nothing to do with this sentence goes away. So what is the only answer which is possible is B part, which is the correct answer, preliminary. Quickly let me know if you have understood. Fine. Guys, again, the same thought process. Fine. We are out here. What is the reason behind you being out here, you being listening to me, and I'm teaching you? What is the reason? Is it about, am I teaching you something like, okay, fine, this question is going to come across in your paper? I don't know. You don't know. Nobody knows, right? So, what are we doing out here? So, we are trying to conceptualize our answers, right? So that wherever you go, your accuracy becomes quite strong. You know, you actually become very strong with it. Understood? So this is more important out here. Fine. Let's move on. Fifth question. Okay, dictator bhai, if we, even if we say that it was bilateral or trilateral or I don't know how many lateral it would be, we would not be able to understand that, right? Because that is your option, okay? And the question does not give me any kind of thought process in that, okay? So we would not go across with bilateral, multilateral or quadrilateral or for that matters. Okay, go on, do the question. That's good speed, Kunal. Let's see if the answer is correct. You have not given me an explanation in that though. Only one answer? Contingent meaning relating to situation, changing business environment for an example. So I guess it fits here. Okay, let's see. What about the rest, guys? Do we have a problem with the meanings? Sir, unilateral can also mean that the results are from the study done on only one group and hence it is not generalized. So the scientists ask for it not to be treated as definitive. Kshitij, that is a very specific thought process. So we generally do not take a specific thought process in our fillers or questions like this. Okay. So we have got CBC. Okay. Can you just look at the sentence and tell me what is the blank about? Is it positive or negative? What is the blank about? The blank is about negative. Sure? Are you sure? Kunal, if you say that it is negative, then in that case, your answer is wrong. Come on, let's do. Ahana, you're not giving any answers today. Let's see. Although the plan seemed ambitious, its success, so it is talking about the success, depended on a series of events, right? So dash that. So what kind of events should be there? What kind of event should be there? Should it be positive or should it be negative? Tell me. See, important part, depended. Its success depended on a series of events. So dash that. So it is, I need an adjective out here, right? So this adjective should be talking about success, right? Or it should be talking about event. So what kind of success, what kind of event should it be? Should it be positive or negative? Volatile होना चाहिए था. क्यों नहीं? See, volatile is again something which is uncertain, right? So we don't know about that. तो वो तो positive नहीं हो सकता ना. The word has to be positive out here. Okay, it means that it can only be successful if it is so much that and something. Understood? Then comes across the next part which says even minor delays would derail the entire project. Fine. So which means it has to be so very strong, so very positive that even minor delays. So इसका मतलब क्या कह रहा है? It has to be very precise, right? If it is not precise, even a minor delay, if there is a small delay as well, it would derail the entire project. The whole project would be derailed, which means it will not be worked anymore. Understood? Fine. So therefore, this part has to be positive. Now let's come across to the first one, which is redundant, which means unnecessary, right? This is basically unnecessary repetition, which means it cannot be my answer. Haphazard is again a negative word. Stagnant is a negative word. Arbitrary is what? Arbitrary is something which is like random. It can be that way, and therefore it would not be my answer. So the only answer which is positive is contingent, which means dependent. One, contingent is dependent. What is the other thing? As per the situation. So which means its success depended on a series of events. So dependent means every event has to depend on the other, right? And only then it would be a success. Even minor delays, if those events do not happen the time at the time allotted, what is going to happen? If there is a delay, it would derail the entire project. Let me know if you have understood. Akriti, I don't need the answer for the second one. I need to know what is the first one. Have you understood or not? Okay. Dependent thoda ambiguous nahi hai. Dependent, why is it ambiguous? Just let me know. What do you understand of the ambiguity of this word? I'm not doing the sixth one before we clear the fifth one. बताओ मेरे को जल्दी से. फिफ्थ वाले में क्या प्रॉब्लम है? फिफ्थ वाला समझ में आया या नहीं आया? भाई या टोन की है दिक्कत थी, वर्ड तो आइडेंटिफाई कर लिया था. राइट. Yes. So Kunal, the thing is, you got the answer. The only problem is that the reason behind it was wrong. Understood? अब मेरे को एक सिंपल सी चीज़ बताओ, जब तुम पेपर देने जा रहे हो और अगर वहाँ पर भी सेम चीज़ हुआ, तो कई बार ये भी हो सकता है कि अगर मेरा एक्सप्लेनेशन सही ना हो तो सही आंसर की जगह पे मैं गलत आंसर भी उठा लेता हूँ, है ना? सो यू नीड टू बी वेरी वेरी श्योर अबाउट इट. ओके, सो प्लीज़ कीप दैट इन माइंड, कीप ऑन डूइंग दोज क्वेश्चंस. ठीक है. आज मैंने जो क्वेश्चंस उठाए हैं वो जनरली ऐसे वाले ही उठाए हैं जहाँ पर थोड़ा सा ट्रिक पैदा होता है, राइट? ट्रैप जब तक नहीं आएगा तब तक आपको क्या नहीं लगेगा? झटका नहीं लगेगा. और जब तक झटका नहीं लगेगा तब तक आप क्या नहीं करोगे? अच्छे से प्रैक्टिस नहीं करोगे, राइट? सो स्टार्ट वर्किंग ऑन इट. इट इज़ वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, राइट? लेट्स गो टू द नेक्स्ट वन. ओके. Neither the students nor the teacher dash willing to compromise on the revised schedule. Now look at this kind of a question. This is also fill in the blanks. But is it vocabulary based? No. This kind of a question is based on grammar, right? So ऐसे वाले केस में क्या करना है? ऐसे वाले केस में the only important part is that you should know your grammar well. You should know what is what. This question is based on SVA, which is subject verb agreement. And as per subject verb agreement, whenever there is words like neither nor, either or, not only but also, okay? Which one are these? Neither nor, either or, and not only but also. In such a case, what happens? The verb out here has to be written as per the word or the subject that is coming nearest to it, not the second or the first. We don't learn in that way. In this way, in this sentence, it has to be the nearest. And which is the nearest one? The nearest one is teacher. Teacher is what? Teacher is singular, and therefore the answer has to be was. Easy going? Yeah? Okay, let's go across to the next one. Fine, 4 people have answered. The rest of the people are not answering. This is not good. Start working on it, guys. Yeah, the book along with its supplementary notes dash missing since last Monday. ठीक है? Fine, look at it. यहाँ पे क्या लिखा हुआ है? Along with. Okay? यहाँ पे क्या डालना है? We have to put in verb. Before the verb, 2 subjects are written across. One is book, the other is supplementary notes. Okay? Which is being joined with along with. So whenever we are talking with any derivative of with, we have got with, along with, together with, coupled with, right? So all of them. Other than that, we have got except. Fine, we have got besides. So whenever we have these kind of words out there, what is going to happen? We are always going to go across with the first subject. Now this one is not going to be nearest and farthest. This one is going to be how? This is going to be as per the first one. Okay? So this is going to work for you. So the first one is book. As per book, what should it be? So the verb has to be singular, and it should be, which is singular? One is. Okay, the other is has. Are will not work, were will not work, have been will not work. Fine. My question is, you have chosen has been. Why shouldn't I choose is? Why can't I take is? Is also used for singular. The book along with its supplementary notes is missing since last Monday. Why am I not writing this? Okay, good. Very good. So what is that? The story does not stop out here. So in this question, we have got not just one rule, we have got 2 rules. So this is a rule which is following SVA, and also we are also covering tense in this, right? What is the tense given across? So the time duration, that is like the time reference that has been given across is since last Monday, which is duration. And whenever we talk about duration, it is a must that it will only take perfect or perfect continuous. So it is perfect or perfect continuous. So as per this thought process, which one should it be? Is, if I say is missing, it is not perfect continuous. But if I write has been missing, it is definitely perfect continuous, and therefore my answer has to be C. Very good, guys. Right, go across with third. So this type of question would be easier than the previous one, right? Where you have to actually remember the rules and all that. That was quick, that was quick, that was good. Very good, students. You're doing pretty good. Let's see, what is here? What do we have out here? Hardly dash the meeting began when objections started pouring in. Fine. So what is the word that we have? The word that we have out here is hardly. And hardly after that, the meeting began. So we have got uh, and next is started. Fine. So I understand that this is going across in a past thing. Okay. I can have had because it is past. Did is also past, but I cannot have it because begun is written across out here, which is V3. And with do, did, does, we do not have what? V3, right? We always have V1. So therefore, did cannot be an answer. Has is a present thing, goes away. Would, we do not generally write in these sentences, we do not start with a modal. So would is not working. So we have got what? Have is again present, goes away. The only option that is possible is had. Hardly had the meeting begun when objections started pouring in. The same could have been if this, instead of begun, if it would have been begin. So I could have simply written did. Hardly did the meeting begin when objections started pouring in. Fine. So this could also have been an option if the words would have been different. Okay. But that is not so. So we'll just forget about them. Right. Going good, going strong. Let's move ahead. Fourth. Only one child has given the answer as yet. Okay, fine. We cannot have that much of time in this. Okay, Nandini. So we have got Kunal, Jatish and Nandini answering. What about the rest? Shivesh says B. Okay. Any reason behind it, Shivesh? That's it. Only 4 people are going to answer. Okay. Let's see. Coming back to it. each of the participants claim that he or she dash misquoted in the report. Please tell me what kind of sentence is this? Just tell me what kind of sentence is this? Simple past? No. Declarative? No. Each of the participants claimed. It says claimed. When does this happen? It means they are saying something, right? And then there is that. He said that. What kind of sentence is this? Where do we see this kind of a sentence? This kind of a structure? We see this in reported speech, right? Remember, the paper is communicative, like English communication, right? Or English communicative, or whatever it says, right? It actually means it is interactive. It means that everything that you have understood, the English comprehensions, right? Everything that is there can come across. Does not mean that there has to be a different question for it, that they would be asking you about find the direct indirect speech. Of course they can actually. Fine. But this one has the part of reported speech in it. And so you have to remember the question, right? Even though it is a fill in the blank question, but it is going to follow the rule for that. So look at this part. This part is past, and therefore this part can only be, there are two options, which is either past or past perfect. Understood? First thing. So which means have been goes away, has goes away, the very first thing. Now we have got were, had been and was. Now was can actually come across, were cannot, so were removes. Fine, we are left with had been and was. Now when we have got had been and was, I could have written was out here, but the problem is each of the participants claimed that he or she dash misquoted in the report, which means that the misquotation part had already happened, right? Which means the direct speech, when I would have written the direct speech out here, it would already be talking about past, right? So when I use past in indirect speech, it becomes past perfect. And therefore, the answer cannot be was, the answer has to be had been, that is B. Has everyone understood? Yes, Akriti, it is a passive voice in an indirect sentence. Okay. So, Shivish, very good. You are the only one who actually got the right answer. Good going. Next one. Oops. I believe I missed a question out there. Yeah, sorry. The fifth one, do it. Fifth C. Yeah, hurrah for you, Shivish. Wow. Quite easy it is. Let's see. If he dashed the instructions carefully, the experiment would not have failed, right? So what kind of sentence again? This kind of a sentence would be called as a, what is it? Tell me, tell me. It would be conditional, right? So this is conditional, and in this we have got would not have failed. This part is the main out here because this tells me which one to go for, okay? This tells me that it has to be in the past, and it also tells me because it has would have plus V3. So which means it has to be taken in the, which one? Past perfect. So it cannot be read, it cannot be reads. Would have read with if I do not use would in the conditional part, right? So D part goes away. The answer should read, again would, should, will, fine. He should, if he should read the instructions is not giving me a condition, it is almost like a suggestion. So this does not mean anything, right? The meaning changes. So which one is the better answer? The answer has to be C. Checked up? Tell me, have you understood? Right, so C is the right answer, people. You have done pretty good for yourself. Let's move ahead. Sixth. लेकिन शिवीश अभी आगे चल रहा है, हाँ? एक क्वेश्चन से, but I don't know Shivish has given the answer for the others as well. Okay. Lavanya, Gunashri, Jatish, Akriti, Naga, and okay, fine. Yep. Kunal, Nandini, yes, you all have got the right answer. Good. Move ahead, do this. Okay. See, if I look at it at the first go, instead of E, everything works, right? Instead of E, everything works. Now you need to understand which one to go for. Okay, fine. This is a bit heavy. Let's see. Walking down the corridor, the smell of disinfectant dash overwhelming, right? If you look at it carefully, tell me, forget about the answers right now. Okay, just look at the sentence and tell me the sentence is right or wrong. If I would have given you this question, that whether the sentence is right or wrong, what would you say? Ah, very good, Kunal. So there is a dangling modifier out here. Look at it carefully. Walking down the corridor. What was walking down? So generally these parts right, these phrases, they are talking about something, and that's why they are also called as modifiers. But what is it modifying? So, as per the rule, whatever a modifier modifies, right, or whatever it talks about, has to be written near to it so that the clarity is there, right? But if I look at this, walking down the corridor, what is it written next to? It is written as smell. Walking down the corridor, the smell. So the smell is walking down the corridor? No, this is not possible, which means there is a problem out here, okay? But this question has come across in a filler, and thus it is now a colloquial thing, right? Because colloquially, this sentence is actually perfect. Why? Because if I say this, you would actually understand, this is right, okay? Now, what is the problem out here? The problem is something, maybe a pronoun like I, is missing out here, right? And that is somewhere which is implied. It is not actually missing, it is implied, okay? Just like when I say, he is taller than, so I say I don't have to write am out here, and even then it is correct, okay, right? So therefore, this part, he is taller than I, itself is correct, and the am part is implied, not necessarily written. Look at this. If I have to give an answer, what would it be? So out here, remember this, that for this kind of a question, the answer that is like the nearest answer that can be gone across with is not was or appeared or became or is. The answer has to be seemed. Why is that? Because look at this. It seems awkward, right? It seems awkward. So when I write this, this is the proper what suggestion, or that is the proper colloquial that is to be written. Fine. So this is one question. If it comes across, I would not get into this, right? Why? Because if I don't know this kind of a thought process, then this question for me does not work. Understood? Right? So it seemed overwhelming. Fine. That is a better option. Yeah. Has everyone understood? Raghuraj, yes. What I can do is I can do it better. Let me just give you an example for this. Yeah. Being naughty, the teacher punished the child. Raghuraj, is the question right or wrong? No, Shivish. The sentence has to be he is taller than I, not me. Yeah, look at the sentence and tell me. The sentence is right? Okay, Raghuraj. If the sentence is right, just tell me who is the naughty one. Who is the naughty one out here? So what did I say? This part is basically the modifier. What is a modifier? Modifier is something that modifies the meaning, or in easy words, it describes it, right? It gives us, it tells us something more about whatever is being written out there, right? Keeping that in mind, being naughty is talking about something. And what did I say right now? I said that whenever you say this kind of a thought process, the word it is modifying, the word it is talking about has to be written near to it. As per that rule, what is written next to it? It is written as teacher. What is it? So if I ask you who's naughty, so your answer should have been the teacher was naughty and punished the child. Right? No, Shivish. This comes across under colloquial as well as pronoun, the rule. This is modifier ambiguity. Yes, Harmeet, this is modifier ambiguity. This is dangling modifier. I don't know. I don't actually. I don't want you people to just learn the words, the technicalities, right? The technical words are of no use unless you understand or you can, observe, analyze the sentences and actually identify what is wrong out there, right? Just because I know that it should be called as a modifier or it should be called as a modifying, a dangling modifier or anything of that sort. More than that, what is more important is how does it work? So look at this. Being naughty, the teacher punished the child is not the right one. The sentence would be, look at it carefully. Being, so a modifier makes like many options, right? It creates many options to write a sentence. So one way is being naughty, the child was punished by the teacher. Okay. Third option, the teacher punished the child for being naughty. Okay, so I give you 1, I give you 2, and I give you 3. Which is the right one out here? Now tell me. टीचर खतरनाक है. हाँ जी सर, बिल्कुल. One and 3 are correct. Shivish says 3. Why not 1, Shivish? Harmeet, if I ask you any one of them, then which one would it be? Okay, Raghuraj says 1 and 3. Kunal, what's your answer? Let's see. Because of being naughty, the child was punished by the teacher. Yeah, Shivish, maybe that is again, maybe right, maybe not. Let's see. Come on, be quick. I guess 3. Why not 1? 1 में क्या खराबी है? ओके, ठीक है. अब वही वाली बात आ गई कि हम बहुत बार क्या करते हैं, 1 is incomplete without the because. ना शिवीश, गलत. It does not need anything out there. These are phrases. These are phrases, right? Modifying phrases. We don't need any because or anything. If I had to choose one of them, I choose before. Of the two, I choose before. Okay. First one can be the child, he was punished by the teacher. The child being naughty, he was. No, Kunal. The child being naughty, he was, that becomes redundant. That is wrong. We should not write that. Okay. Okay, guys, which clearly shows that you are modifying modifiers you are not very clear with. Okay, look at this part. The first sentence is actually correct. There is no problem out there except for it is redundant. See, I can use technical words. Does it work for you? No, it does not. Look at it carefully. Being naughty, the child was punished by the teacher. So what is the main idea out here? What is the main thought process about this sentence? Is it that he or she was punished by the teacher? That is more important for me, or it is just being naughty, the child was punished, right? So if I had this as the only option, then I would have said, yeah, definitely go across with this. You can write it down. But the problem is that I have another option, and that is grammatically more correct. What is it? More correct. And therefore, I would not go across with this. This sentence should have been, being naughty, the child was punished and nothing to do with by the teacher. Fine? Definitely, Shvish. Once the you join me, I'll teach you. No problem. Never heard about modifiers before. Okay. First one can be the child being naughty, he was punished by the... No, Kunal, that is wrong. Okay, look into this. First part. Just let me know. First part, have you understood? What is it? The important part. Just listen to this. It would be more easy for you to understand. I say, the thief was arrested by the police. Is there anything grammatically wrong in this? The thief was arrested by the police. Is anything wrong out here? Okay, Kunal has understood. Look at this carefully. The thief was arrested by the police. It seems such a harmless sentence, right? But then again, aren't you getting verbosic out here? Verbose means what? Verbose is like using extra words, right? Unnecessary words, right? That is called as redundance. Now look at this. The thief was arrested. What is the verb written out here? It is arrested. So if it is written as arrested, who else, right? Who else would arrest him than the police? Is there anyone else? No. So even if I wrote the thief was arrested, that is more than enough. Understood? So therefore, the thief was arrested is your enough. The sentence is complete. I do not need this extra part. Grammatically, it is not wrong, but sense-wise, and when we write anything in English, we check it two ways, right? The first is the grammatical sense, the other is the sense itself, right? Does it make any sense or not? So that's why we need to be very concise with whatever we are writing, and being concise means removing by the place. Again, being naughty, we understand. Who is it? The child. Clear. Was punished. More than enough. He could have been punished by the teacher, he could have been punished by the parents, he could have been punished by any, uncle, auntie, I don't know, whoever it was. But then again, what was more important for me was not who punished him, but the important part was that he was punished. Understood? Which is not being done by writing this part. So therefore, this is not my better answer. What is the better answer? The teacher punished the boy or the child for being naughty. As clear as anything, right? And therefore, the better word out here would be 3. If 3 would have not been given across, then 1 would have been my, by default, the better answer. Are you getting these points? Because these are very important for you guys. Because when you would be choosing out there, and I know what really happens, because when you sit across for your paper, there are times when you would see like, okay, what is working for me? I don't know, there are two options, which one to go for, and then you would simply go across with inky, pinky, ponky or something like that. I don't want you to go across with that. I just want you to come across and start feeling the exact notion of English and be concise about what the rules are. Got it, everyone? Extreme of speaking much words. Yes, yes, yes. Can you give the overview of what are you teaching? I joined right now. Okay, so yeah. So what is it? We are actually going through what fill in the blanks. So we have a mixed bag today. So there are different types of questions coming across. Okay. The ones that we are going to do tomorrow is going to be a bit, because right now we are stuck with the fill in the blanks. Sorry. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to, whatever part we can finish it today, we'll just do it. But in the next class, what we are going to do is, we are going to shift them, okay? First question would be maybe fill in the blanks. The second question would be a parajumble. The third question would be another fill in the blank. Then again, something else. And in this way, I'm going to actually make a complete khichdi of all the questions and then serve it to you hot and, just hot, hot and spicy. Got it, everyone? Cool, man. Got it. तो सब हटाते हैं इसमें से. Come across to this. 7th. Scarcely anyone in the department, not even the senior analyst, dash the new regulations. हाँ जी, बताओ. For the 6th one, the answer has to be B, seemed. Okay. 7th one, we are working on it, so you need to tell me what is the answer. Okay, that was quick, Kunal, Nandini. Of course, it had to be quick because I was talking all the time, so you did this question, right? This is how it is. पेपर चल रहे हैं क्या अभी बच्चों? You also have your papers और सब कुछ छोड़ छाड़ के बैठे हो? सिया, रघुराज, Harmeet, Shivish, Kunal, Nandini, Harmeet. Everyone is giving the same answer. गलत हुआ तो कैसा लगेगा? Wow, good Kunal, good. Full lengths are going on. Oh my God. चलो भाई बहुत बढ़िया. Okay, let's see. What does it say? Scarcely anyone in the department, not even the senior analyst, dash the new regulations. ठीक है? तो भैया क्या किसके बारे में बात हो रही है? So this verb has to talk about which one? Is it going to talk about analyst? Because it is talking about analyst, it has to be plural, and if it is talking about anyone, it has to be singular. So which one would it be? Of course, this part is going to talk about anyone. So not the analyst, right? The new regulations. So as per that, we cannot have understand because understand is for plural. Understands is for singular, so I can keep it. Have understood, we cannot have again plural, 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 plural. Have, are, were. Fine. And as the rise, always remember understanding to aata bhi nahi hai na? Again, ing rule, right? Some verbs do not take ing form when they are in the when they are used as a main verb. So automatically D and E are like they are pathetic, they are not going to be used. So what is my right answer? The answer has to be B. Jhakas. Hardly 2 weeks left. I know, I know. How many mocks have you covered as yet, Kunal? How many mocks? Let's move on to the next one. 8th. By the time she arrives, the team dash working for over 10 hours. Easy, it is easy. It's very easy. Do it. Yeah, Bangalore. 14th, right? From Harmeet, bro, you need to check the link, which is in the description. You click out there, you buy the thing out there. I also use the code and it will get you 500 off, bro. Yeah. I'm in 11th, just enjoying the lectures. Raghuraj, it's good that you are enjoying my lectures. I like it, bro. But remember, इस साल अच्छे से अपना क्या तैयार करना, अच्छे से अपना कॉन्सेप्ट तैयार करना, अगले साल प्रैक्टिस करने का है, मॉक्स करने का है और हाँ सारा क्रैक करके निकलने का है, राइट? 3 as of now. What is the score you are running with? Okay, people are also giving me answers. A. One said, Nandini said E. Okay, what is E? Has. Had been. Okay. And some coffee guy tells me about B. Okay, why do you think so? Let's see. So what is the important part? Again, what is the question about? The question is about grammar. And when it is about grammar, your things, you should have a strong hold out here. You know what? Strong hold. Look at this part. What is important out here? What is the keyword? The keyword is by the time. So you see that there is by the time written out there. All you have to see is what is written after that, the next sentence, the following sentence. What is it? It is present. If it is present, then there is no other option. The only thing that can come across out here is future perfect. Understood? If this is in past, then there is nothing but past perfect. Understood? So that is the thought process about by the time. Fine. So there are certain expressions, and with those expressions, the kind of sentence, the tenses, they are fixed. We cannot change them, and you just have to go through them. You know, you just see how it is to be written, and that's that. Okay. Keeping that in mind, by the time she arrives, this is present. So what should the answer be? Can it be will have been? I can keep it. Why? Because future and perfect, right? Has been, no, it is present perfect, not possible. Will be is your simple future, not possible. Would have been. Now this would is generally used in past, okay, past formations. If this sentence would have been written in direct indirect speech, right? So in that case, will would have changed to would, so this cannot be. Had been is in past perfect, cannot be. The only answer which is possible is A. Got it? Fine. So the first one will have A. Break दे दो, नहाना है, फिर ट्यूशन का भी टाइम होने वाला है. Samriddhi ji will have a break at like after a few more questions, okay? How many of you are like tired now? How many of you are like बस भाई हो गया मेरा ऐसा कुछ? Does IIM Bangalore exam contains VA2 or is just RC? UIX with coffee, we are not very sure as yet because it says English comprehension, and that's why it can be anything. Fine. And if we wait for what the December first week brings across, whether it is going to be just the RC or it is going to be adding up all the other VA, so I don't want to take that risk. Let's just practice, because if you keep on practicing, it is ultimately going to help you in other IIMs as well, right? Anyone who is giving a Bangalore would also be appearing for the other ones, right? So, right? So just keep on working on it. Of course, we are going to practice RCs and other stuff as well, right? एक बार फिर से बताना please, would क्यों नहीं? Kunal, would is generally used. Will changes to would when we use past reporting verb, right? Or the sentence is in past, right? The sentence is in past. We don't have a past sentence out here. It is in present. So we'll use would, we will not use would, we will use will only. Definitely extracurriculars are going to help you a lot in any kind of interviews, right? Yes, Shivish, something like that, but not necessarily would is always going to be used in past. It can also be used in present, right? If I'm talking to someone and I'm very formal or very showing my politeness, right? So I would like either something like if there is a colleague, right, and we are like very pal kind of a thing, buddy wala thing, right? So how would I say, will you open the door? So I'll be like this, right? Will you open the door? And if there is someone who I want to pay respect to, right? इज्जत दिखा रहा हूँ, polite हूँ, then what would I say? I would say, would you please open the door? Would you? Then I cannot say, will you please open the door? So it would be, would you please open the door? Understood? So would is very, something like that. So would is stupid blunder. Okay, Kunal, कोई बात नहीं भाई, कोई बात नहीं. आज सीख लिया, अगली बार गलती नहीं करने का है बिडू. ठीक है? The name is Shivi. Shay is the surname. Oh, sorry Shivi. Now I got it. I'll call you Shivino. Okay. Go across to 9th. Come on, come on, come on. Let's have some good questions out here. Good answers out here. Sorry, the questions are already good. हाँ जी, questions कैसे लग रहे हैं? अच्छे लग रहे हैं, बुरे लग रहे हैं? ये तो बता दो. Are there any suggestions you would give to the students for acing in IIM B VA section? Yes, UX with coffee. Okay, you have to stay with me. You need to wait. As soon as the thing comes across, ठीक है, उसके बाद हम आराम से क्या करेंगे, इसको धड़ाम कर देंगे, ठीक है? As soon as the questions come across, sorry, the Bangalore, right? It gives across the things to us कि what kind of question paper is going to be, then I'll definitely tell you how to go about with this, ठीक है? हाँ जी, तब तक के लिए प्रैक्टिस करो, रोज़ आओ, ठीक है? अब रोज़ नहीं आओगे, एक दिन आओगे तो फिर मज़ा नहीं आएगा, राइट? मतलब मेरे को मज़े नहीं चाहिए ब्रो, आप लोगों को मज़े चाहिए. You need to practice, you need to see where you are standing, what kind of what do you say, competition you are facing, है ना? ये सब पता होना चाहिए. Okay, so she says A was B. Nandini says B. Shivi says A. Sia says A. Okay. Arya says A. Kunal says A. Let's see what is it. Arey bhaiya, this was a, like, I would say 5-second question. What is it written? No sooner. What is it written? No sooner. No sooner के बाद the sentence, whenever we have no sooner, right? उसके बाद जो part आता है, क्या क्या लिखा जाता है? तो after this we always write had plus subject plus V3. ठीक है, ऐसे करके बनता है हमारा no sooner के बाद. अब ये perfect क्यों जाता है? Why does it go to perfect? It has to go to perfect because it is written across that no sooner had the announcement made than panic spread. ठीक है, तो आगे क्या जा रहा है? Than आ रहा है, which means panic spread, but when did it spread? Only after what happened? This thing happened. Understood? So which means this happened before, and anything that happened before in the past, if there are two past at different time, so the one that has happened before will take past perfect, the one that has happened after will take simple past. So यहाँ पर क्या हो जाएगा? हमारे को क्या लेना पड़ेगा? We cannot take was, we cannot have is, we cannot have as. The answer is B. Yay! Oh, अच्छा. Sorry guys. No, sorry sir, my chat was disconnected, so I was unable to answer before. Okay, कोई बात नहीं. आर्या सर वॉल्यूम बढ़ाओ थोड़ा सा. आवाज़ नहीं आ रही क्या? इतनी देर बाद कौन बताता है? अब तक कहाँ था भाई? रघुराज, रिलेशन सर हैड है तो बीन नहीं भी होना चाहिए था ना. द अनाउंसमेंट, हाँ, नो सूनर द अनाउंसमेंट बीन मेड, वहाँ पे बीन होना चाहिए था यार. ये सो दिस इज अ टाइपो थिंग, बट देन अगेन यू मस्ट रिमेंबर दैट इट हैज़ टू हैव हैड. ठीक है, इस क्वेश्चन में आपको आसानी से मार्क्स मिलेंगे. यहाँ पर एक टाइपो है, यहाँ पे had होना चाहिए था, which they have not given across, but hardly matters for me because I know कि no sooner के बाद क्या आएगा, had आएगा। कहानी समझ में आ गई? हाँ जी बिल्कुल, ठीक है कुणाल। कूल कूल कूल, ठीक है आगे चलें। Yep. Next question for you guys for fill in the blanks. बी नहीं तो लिखा मैंने, अरे सॉरी यार, चलो ठीक है। हाँ बाद में आना चाहिए था, लिख दिया भाई, लिख दिया भाई। हाँ जी आर्या, और नो सूनर के बाद हैड लगाने का है। नो बीइंग फनी हम इसमें देन नहीं लेते, देन डज नॉट कम अक्रॉस एज एनी पेयर, इट डज नॉट कम अक्रॉस एज एनी पेयर, राइट। अरे वाह, सबके आंसर बी हैं, वाह। लेट्स सी आर यू करेक्ट। The committee demanded that the proposal dash reconsidered immediately. Demanded that the proposal is तो आ सकता था, proposal was ये भी हो सकता था, should के साथ considered नहीं आ सकता, should हट गया, the proposal being considered reconsidered भी नहीं हो सकता। तो भैया is और was तो है यहाँ पे, B क्यों ले लिया तुमने? What is the reason out here? द कमिटी डिमांडेड, चलो ये पास्ट में है तो पास्ट के हिसाब से तो यहाँ पे वॉज होना चाहिए, इस भी नहीं होना चाहिए, तो यहाँ से इस भी हटा देते हैं। द कमिटी डिमांडेड दैट द प्रपोजल वॉज रिकंसिडर्ड इमीडिएटली। बताओ भाई, क्यों उठाया तुमने बी? सेंस नहीं है, सेंस नहीं है वॉज के साथ, क्यों? दैट द प्रपोजल वॉज रिकंसिडर्ड इसका मतलब वो पैसिव हो गया, तो फिर वॉज तो लगना चाहिए था। द प्रपोजल इज टू बी रिकंसिडर्ड, no. Okay guys, to do this question, tell me first what type of sentence is this? What is the type of sentence we have out here? Very good Kunal. तो जब demanded होता है तो वो कैसा sentence हो जाता है? If we chose was it means that it has already been reconsidered. Very good. अगर was होगा तो was to be होना चाहिए ना, not necessarily क्षितिज। Sir demand क्या किया है sir? Very good. So what kind of sentence is this? This would be called as some kind of, this is called as subjunctive sentence, okay? This is called as subjunctive sentence. Now what happens when we do subjunctive sentence? When there is a subjunctive sentence, we do not generally use the SVA wala rule, okay? We use bare infinitive in that sentence. Look at it carefully, okay? We hope that he dash dead, okay? A part is, B was, C B, D will. Tell me what is the answer? भाई अब आ रही है आवाज क्या? अब सही है आवाज? टेल मी आर्या ब्रो। And the rest of you tell me this one. We hope that he dash dead is, was, be, will. What do I go across with? Kunal says C, which is B. Okay, Arya, fine. हाँ जी, बाकी लोग बताओ क्या होगा इसमें. We hope that he dash dead. What do I go for? B, 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 B. Everyone says B, right? He was dead. Something like that. But bachcho, look at the sentence and tell me what kind of sentence is this. The sentence, is he dead? Is he actually dead? Is it a statement or it is just a wish or something like that? शिवी मैं कभी कभी ऐसी चीज़ें भी होप करवा देता हूँ. ठीक है. क्षितिज says A part which is a skull. A part में skull लिखा हुआ है? हर्षिता says B which is was. Harshita says B which is was. Okay, ठीक है. ध्यान दो. The kind of sentence out here, if I write is or was, it means like something which has already happened. He is dead, मतलब खत्म हो गया. He was dead, which means सुलट गया था. But we are not talking about that. We are rather talking about we hope. We hope. So this has not happened. We are just wishing. We are just hoping, desiring that this should happen. And this kind of a sentence comes under subjunctive or kind of optative sentences, right? So ऐसे वाले case में the answer will be B. ठीक है. हो गई इंग्लिश गंदी. ठीक है. Coming back to it, what is the sentence given across? The committee demanded. So whenever you demand, whenever you desire, whenever you want something, wish something, it becomes a subjunctive sentence, and then the part that should be coming across out there should be bare infinitive, which is B. Sorry guys. This is the harsh reality of English, right? Can't help it. So what I'm getting is, you people do not know anything about subjunctive or what is the other one? What is it? Subjunctive, and then you don't know anything about modifiers. Yeah, this is what you said to me, right? Okay. So never mind. We'll just work on. But you already know about this. Okay. चलो देखते हैं. God blesses you. Okay. Look at this sentence. What does it mean when I say God blesses you? कुणाल भाई इमोशनल नहीं होने का है. God has blessed me. Yeah. So this is actually a statement. It is an assertion. It is a declaration. We are saying that yes, भगवान जी आए ऐसे करके तथास्तु बोल के गए हैं. Right? Right? Okay, fine. But when someone sneezes, what do we say? We say, God bless you. Is there a difference between these two? Never mind, Shivi. Okay. हाँ जी बताओ. There's a big difference. This one says God blesses you, which means like it is actually a statement. It is telling us that it has happened. God bless you does not mean that God has blessed you, right? भगवान जी आए नीचे और ऐसे तथास्तु करके गए, नहीं होने वाला इसमें. ठीक है. What does it mean God bless you? It means that actually में again क्या हो रहा है? अभी हमने कुछ किया था implied. याद आ रहा है? Implied. That there sometimes something is not written but it is implied, and this is also implied. What is implied out here? May God bless you. This is what is implied. Yep, yep. So have you understood? Even if I don't write may out here, even then this sentence is correct. So what is may? May is basically just a thought process. We hope that he, so what should be written out here? The actual sentence would have been, we hope that he may be dead. Easy. But that may not necessarily has to be written because it is implied. Okay. सर ऊपर से भी तो तथास्तु हो सकता है नहीं हाँ कुणाल लेकिन शायद ऊपर से बहुत सारे लोग दिख रहे हैं ना तो शायद तथास्तु ना कर पाए है ना राइट फाइन गॉट द पिक्चर हैव यू अंडरस्टूड व्हाट इट इज एवरीवन हैज अंडरस्टूड okay then look at this we have got what is it that we have next is this thing which is double fillers okay so for the double fillers what I'm going to do is आज के लिए हम इतना ही रखते हैं आज के लिए जितना झटका देना था दे दिया मैंने ठीक है so what is going to happen is we are going to come across with the next class and in the next session we are going to cover up the rest of it but I'm going to mix and match now so that हमारे अलग अलग किस्म के क्वेश्चंस डिफरेंट टाइप ऑफ क्वेश्चंस कैन कम अक्रॉस वन आफ्टर द अदर एंड वी कैन प्रैक्टिस अंडरस्टूड ठीक है कोई प्रॉब्लम एनीथिंग यू वांट टू सजेस्ट डू सजेस्ट मी राइट नाउ डू सजेस्ट नो क्या हो गया शिवी क्या हुआ व्हाई द नो ये क्या था अरे ठीक है सो नेक्स्ट क्लास में हम क्या करने वाले हैं वी आर गोइंग टू हैव वन फिल इन द ब्लैंक्स देन वी आर गोइंग टू हैव वन पैराफिलर वन आरसी ऐसे करके हम चलाएंगे ठीक है थोड़ा मिक्स एंड मैच करेंगे ठीक है शिवी मैं आज के लिए इसलिए नहीं कर रहा हूँ बिकॉज देर आर 10 क्वेश्चंस इन डबल फिलर्स राइट देन आई हैव गॉट 10 क्वेश्चंस इन ट्रिपल फिलर्स तो अभी अगर हम वो शुरू करेंगे ना तो वो हमारा कंटिन्यूटी ब्रेक हो जाएगा राइट एंड इट इज़ मेजरली बेस्ड ऑन योर वोकैबलरी सो आई वॉन्ट कि हमारा एकदम शुरू से वैसा ही कंसंट्रेशन रहे एंड एवरीवन आई वुड एक्चुअली सजेस्ट कि आप लोग टाइम से आइएगा टुमारो वी आर सिटिंग एट 12 अगैन एंड फ्रॉम 12 ऑन वी आर गोइंग टू स्टडी ठीक है 12 से 2 चलेगा इंग्लिश का शो ठीक है yes para summary would be there para completion is there para summary is there rc is there then fill in the blanks is there yes see they are there वो सारे हैं ठीक है तो कल भैया बेटा सिया कल टाइम से आने का है ठीक है कल एकदम देर से नहीं आने का है शिवी नेवर माइंड विल मीट टुमारो एट 12 राइट okay then so I'm closing the deal for today what's rc is reading comprehension bro could you include one rc in every session yes Jatish we'll do that everything would be there alright guys okay so we don't have any more sessions today so take care guys and study well ठीक है जिन्होंने नहीं लिया है अभी तक वो वाला जो भी लेना था वो अगर नहीं लिया है तो फिर लीजिए उसे और जल्दी से उसे काम करिए उस पर ठीक है एंड वील यू कैन ऑल्सो आस्क योर डाउट्स फॉर दैट मैटर्स ठीक है ना लेकिन मैं रोज़ उतने सारे डाउट्स तो नहीं ले पाऊंगा तो यू कैन जस्ट सेंड इट अक्रॉस DM द डाउट्स टू मी एंड वी कैन स्टार्ट वर्किंग ऑन दैट ठीक है वो भी हो सकता है ऑलराइट देन टेक केयर गाइस बाय बाय